All right, so we're gonna go ahead and set up a very, very basic aquarium with a 10-gallon tank, some really cheap gravel. When I say cheap, I'm talking about cheap like this, not like they suck. I know a lot of people are kind of scared to spend money if they don't know if they're gonna succeed. Try it this way. Try it this way for first. You know what I mean? And once you do succeed, which you will, you can go ahead and feel better about spending some money. But let's go ahead and get you started. All right. In this video, you might hear me mention Fishy Aquatics, Mr. Clarke's class, and the reason why is this video is inspired by Mr. Clarke on YouTube. He goes by Fishy Aquatics. He's a teacher, and he has been celebrating the aquarium hobby with his kids, inspiring them to learn more about the sciences, oceanography, biology, ichthyology, all the ologies. You know what I'm saying? And I went ahead and he wrote out a little how you call it, a little, step by step. But sometimes, especially y'all know y'all kids they learn better from watching. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this. And you know what? If you find something in this video that is helpful, please put it down in the comments and give it a shot. So the first thing I did was I went ahead and rinsed this tank out. Now these tanks, you can find them for about $10 used. Sometimes people will give them to you if you ask. This gravel right here, I got it from Home Depot. You get it in a 50-pound bag, which is way more than what you need. I didn't even use even a little bit of 55 pounds in this. But it's $5 for 50 pounds of rock. Whereas at the pet store, for a little bag of it, it's like $10, and you're going to need like 3 bags. So that's $15, $20 right there. So, yeah, just make sure you rinse that really well because it is dusty. Aquarium rock that you get from the pet store, a lot of that is pre-rinsed. This is not. So you're going to have to rinse it really well. And you can use tap water for that. When you cleaning out the aquarium for the first time, please clean out the aquarium. Do not use liquid soap. Do not use, if you want to use anything, use vinegar to clean out your aquarium. Then you go ahead and you use tap water to rinse that out. The reason why I use vinegar is a very good cleaning product for aquariums that doesn't have any ill effects. You use soap, you use any type of chemical, can leave residue and it will kill your fish. So this is the first and only time in the history of this aquarium's life that you are able to use tap water. It's right at the very beginning before any fish get in there. And the reason why is because tap water will kill your fish. You will have to put an additive in there, which I will do soon, to detoxify the heavy metals of chlorine and chloramine. But as for right now, this is the only time you can have chlorine touch this tank. And chlorine comes out of your tank, your tap water, for our benefit, but it kills fish. Let's go ahead and fill this up. All right, so as you can see, like I said, you have to rinse it out. I didn't rinse it out as good. I'm a little impatient. I said I'm impatient, all right? So I didn't rinse it out as good as I should have. But you're still gonna have something like, not as bad as this. But if it's brand new rocks, you're just gonna, it is what it is. Don't judge me. Also, if you saw that blue plate in there, that blue plate is so that the water won't hit the rocks directly and make a mess. But obviously a mess was going to be made. So I just went ahead and took out the plate. Plus I used a plastic plate, started floating. You're going to want to use like something heavier, like a ceramic plate that won't float. But I haven't actually set up a small aquarium like this in a very long time. So some of the little things I forget. But it doesn't matter because this thing, I'm going to let it run for 24 hours. All this stuff is going to settle. This is not going to hurt your fish. It's not. So now it's time to put the filter in, the sponge filter. Now, these sponge filters, Mr. Clarke's class, Fishy Business class, they have a different style of filter. They have the filter that sticks on the back. Same concept. Air runs through runs through this airline. As it goes down here, it's released, and as the air pushes upward, it draws water this way. This right here, this sponge, one of the benefits of the sponge is that you don't have to buy anything. Okay, all you need is an air pump. I'm using this battery powered air pump because I don't have an air pump small enough that plugs in. So a small air pump, some airline. This sponge right here, you'll never have to buy anything for. It's done. Boom, one and done. You don't have to spend more money. It's dry, right? So when you put it in there, it's going to want to float. So what you do is squeeze it, get the air out of it, and then it'll sink to the bottom. Get out of here. Get out of here. Then it'll sink to the bottom. Like that. All right, it's down at the bottom. Okay. Now I'm gonna turn on my air pump, and the filter is gonna be working. And like I said, Mr. Clarke class has a different style. Now this filter you can put towards the back. I just have it in the front right now because the water is murky. So what's going on now is the water is being drawn through here and up there, right? After 24 hours, this will be clear. And the biggest problem we have right now is this water has chlorine in it, right? Like I said, this is the first time and only time chlorine will touch this water. So let's go ahead and get rid of the chlorine so it'll be safe for fish. I got AquaSafe, all right? Now this stuff has instructions on it. You buy it from the pet store. A little bit goes a long way, so you don't have to get a bottle this big. And the instructions say here, 10 milliliters for every 10 gallons. This is a 10-gallon tank, and if you look on the cap, I don't know if you can see it, but it tells you how much is 10 milliliters. So 10 milliliters on this, according to this, is a cap full. So it's kind of like medicine. So I shook it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put a cap full. Splash, rinsey, rinsey. All right, there's many different things you can use for a hood. You can go to Home Depot and get some plexiglass, stuff like that. But this is pretty common for a 10-gallon hood. It's called a versatile glass hood, and it's just, this is the back piece to it. And this, you gotta be careful with this because this is glass, and sometimes you have to put some force in it. It has a little cutout or a little groove to put the glass in. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. We're gonna put the glass. Put it the right way. Put the little thing in there. But yeah, sometimes it's a little bit rough, so you might want to be careful. If I don't know how old you are watching this out there, but if you're very young, you might want to get a parent to do this for you. And then you put the top on like so, right? Leaving room on one side for the airline and what any other things you have going into there. It comes with a plastic opening thing, and it has a double-sided tape, and it's real simple. You find the middle, right? You find the middle. Take off the back side of the tape to where it's sticky, and then you put it right on the tank. You find the middle. That looks like it's about the middle, right? Right? Maybe? It is now, though. That way you can open and close it. Now, the reason why you want to put a lid on there is because of evaporation. Water does evaporate, so to keep you from constantly, having to fill the tank because the water. Plus, you don't want your fish to jump out the tank, right? So, boom, there it is. And we have a lot of kids got at the Fishy Biz. And listen, here's the deal. Fishy Biz got together, and he's buying these things for the kids and stuff, and it gets pricey. Ideally, you do want to put a heater in here, right? And the only reason why you would want to put a heater in here is so you have more of an option of the types of fish to put in there, because the fish have temperature ranges depending on where they come from. But just because you don't have a heater, that doesn't mean you can't have fish in there. It just means you have to be very particular as to which fish go in there. And depending on how hot your house is, usually aquariums are about 5 degrees less than what the house temperature is. So like for instance, I keep my house at like 73 because I don't like being hot. So this tank, you can pretty much, it's probably like 69 degrees. The water temperature will be regularly 69 degrees, but because I just started it, let's see what the temperature is going to be. There's a whole bunch of different types of thermometers out there. Okay. There's all different types of thermometers out there, and a lot of your aquarium heaters have a set, like what temperature range you want it at. But those are not 100%. So I always suggest to get a thermometer, if nothing else, to know what fish you can put in there at any given time. This is reading 80. That's because I live in Florida and the water comes out warm. But it's going to drop. So at this point, let's turn on the light. Let's turn on. I got this little desk lamp, right? This is a little desk lamp I had laying around. And we're going to go ahead and use that because, like I said, we're going to do this bare bones, right? You're almost going to not spend anything on it. And like I said, if you go on Facebook and you let people know what you're trying to do at some of these aquarium Facebook pages, they'll hook you up. So, let's see. All right. Now, the only thing left to do is let it sit. Oh, I did forget something. Fishy Biz, or Mr. Clarke, was nice enough to get some old filter media, which is basically an old filter, and get all the gook out of it. What that gook is like a quick start. This aquarium, as it is now, if I would have to put a couple of little pieces of flake food in there to start the aquarium nitrogen cycle. That's very important. In fact, everything I just told you about this aquarium means nothing if you don't watch this video. I'm not trying to get you to watch my video so I can, you know, whatever. That video is the most basic, fun, and interesting way I could make the video on something as boring and confusing to some people as the nitrogen cycle. And it's the keystone to keeping an aquarium. It's where everything starts. So doing all this and not understanding the nitrogen cycle is a waste of your time. So watch the video. As soon as you're done watching this, watch the video. Please, I beg you. I don't want you to waste money. I don't want you to get your hopes up. And if you watch that video and understand the nitrogen cycle, you're going to be good. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is an old nasty sponge filter. Look how dirty it is. Now, I know a lot of you guys get creeped out. This is basically dissolved food, fish poop, all that stuff gets stuck in here. But what it does, and this all has to do with the nitrogen cycle, this is what allows your fish to live. This fish poop is an ecosystem in here. Now, ordinarily, doing it this way, dropping some food in there and waiting for that ecosystem to grow by itself, takes about a month in a 10-gallon. It varies. Different sizes aquariums take different times, but generally about a month. But what you can do is you can buy quick start, and you got to talk to your local aquarium dealer about what's the best one for you. I've used Fritz 7 with success, and I've done this. And basically all I'm going to do is this has beneficial bacteria, and it takes a month for it to grow in here to sustain life. But I'm a cheat. I'm a kickstart everything so that I be able to put fish in there tomorrow. I've done it in one day, but I suggest give it 24 hours just to let the temperature and everything settle. You know what I'm saying? But I've done it in a day. All right. Once the temperature settles and all that stuff I just gets trapped into the new filter I just put in there, I could put fish in there. But I still like to give it 24 hours, at least to get rid of all this, right? Okay, it's been 24 hours and look how clean it looks. I am straight up lying to it. And any of you guys think that I'd be wearing the same clothes for 2 days in a row, shame on you. Just shame on you. I wouldn't do that. I'm not an animal. What I did do is, because for the sake of the video, if I would have left it for 24 hours, it would look good like this, by the way. But what I did do for the sake of speed in the video is I drained it to this much, right? Slowly put water in and put more safe in. Every time you add water, you add safe. Let me say it again. Every time you add water, you add safe. You can add it before. You could add it directly after you add the water, but you need to add safe. Adding it before is always best practice. Listen, if any of you guys out there would like a good, worthy cause, Fishy Biz just ended the school year, but another school year is coming up. Another batch of kids are going to start getting exposed to aquariums, and the kids from this year are going to come next year with a whole summer's worth of experience, wanting more. So go visit Fishy Biz Aquatics channel and see how you can participate. Any upgrades to this, I would say a heater, and that's it. Really, a heater and the check valve is really all you can. This light will work. Everything here will work. And like I said, you go on Facebook, people give you stuff. So listen, you kids out there, I hope you got something out of this. Even if you're not in Mr. Clarke's class, I hope you got something from this, and do something. Have some fun, you know. It's not expensive. None of this stuff. If I had to say how much I spent, the sponge filter you could buy on Amazon for $5. The air pump you could buy around $10. Airline tubing, a lot of times they sell you 25 cents a foot for the air. I'll tell you, this whole thing probably cost $50. 50, if that. Big dummy!